welcome back CSC 121 to part 2 of our EX26. Apologize for that first video being so long, but there's a lot of setup that we have to do in getting this started. This video will be very quick, so you don't have to sit through as long for this one. This should just be a few minutes. What we're going to do here is put an event or an action. We used to call them action from Flash, but we're really going to call a function from a button. So it'll be kind of an event that'll run on the button. So what we'll have to do is just set up a function, and we could set up a function just like we normally do, and just using our def, and I'll just call it change color because we're just going to change color of one of our labels. So I'll just call it change color for now. And I still need my parentheses and still need a colon. And then what I'll do is I'll change the config. We have to use the config property of a label. So we're going to change the config property of label 1, which is red, and we're going to make it purple. So we have to identify label 1. So I'm going to say label 1 dot config, and then in parentheses we're going to just change what's going to change in here. So the text is going to change to say purple because we don't want to have it purple and still say red on it. And then also what's going to change is the background color is going to change. So we're going to say BG equals, and we could just use purple. And that's all that's going to change on that. Now you could do these separate, or you could do it with a comma like we did there. I think that's all that we need right there to run that function. Now to call our function, we're going to call it on button 1. I'm just going to put a comma here at the end and do command equals and just put the function name, which is change color. And it does not use the parentheses like a normal function would use. So it's just command equals change color, which seems a little odd, but that's the way it works. And what should happen is we should click on button 1 and it should basically change color. Let's do that first. And there it is. And I'll hit button 1. And there it became purple and we changed color. So now we know how to kind of run a function off of a button. So I'll close that up. If we want to put it back, I'll do one off of button 2 that goes back. If I did another one here and I just called it change back, just so I know this one's changing back, and the color would be back to red, and the background color would be back to red. This text would say red, just like the original. So I'll put it back the way it was, and then I could use, on button 2, I'll put a change back command on there, and I'll just copy this one and put it here, and just call it change back. Going far over here, so it's moving my screen around, but I think that's okay. I'll try it one more time. And there it is. There's button 1, and then we'll put it back. And it didn't work because I did something wrong. Change back. Let me check my color up here. Oh, I have purple pretzel, which I guess I have red in the middle, so it didn't know what that color was. And it should be red. So do it one more time to finish this off. Now there it is. Now we'll change it. We'll go back. See, we could go back and forth. Isn't that fun? That's just a little introduction to tkinter and the ability to put some functions on our buttons, which we'll do, and we could do all our Python functions using an interface, which may be helpful. So I'm going to close that up, and that's all you have to do for EX26. Now, if you want to turn this in, here's what I recommend right now. The best thing to do is, even instead of trying to upload and zip this and all that kind of stuff, if this is your file, just copy it. Just do a Control-A and then a Control-C and copy everything. Just go to your browser, go to your Repellet, and make a new Repel. And you can search for a tkinter. You don't have to use that, but if you use tkinter, it can almost even work in there. Right now, Repel is a little buggy for actually running these files, but I'll create a Repel for that. And then give it a name in here. I'll give it a name. I'll call it EX26, and then just call it EX26 for yourself. Here, and paste it all in. Now, in here, it could actually show up okay. It may work if you run it in here. It seems to be a little buggy. That's the only reason why we're not using this, because you're running an interface already through a web browser, which is a problem. But there it is. It actually works in there. Look at that. It works in here. So you can do that, and then you could just share this with me. So that'll just be easier than trying to upload it as a zip file and all that. And that way you don't have to go through that extensive upload process. You could just, in your add comment, just send me this. So again, just share it like you normally would for your other projects, and that way you even have a backup of all your code, so that if you work on it at home, you come to school and you have it in your Repellet. So that's it for EX26 part 2.